Hey, and welcome into One Pan Nan. I'm Nan Kelley, and on today's episode, we are just outside of Nashville in Wilson County, and we are going to cook today with a lady who is just about the best singer in country music, hands down. Linda Davis is our guest today. She's not only a fabulous singer, she's a consummate entertainer, a fabulous songwriter. She took home the Grammy with her friend Reba McEntire for Best Vocal Country Collaboration for Does He Love You? And I can't wait to get to cooking with her. And here she comes.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this.
So good to see you. I'm hungry.
Well, I got something in store.
What are we gonna cook?
Let's do some chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie. Is that a good Texas recipe?
It's good for anywhere you want to take it.
Any state you're
Yes,
in.
any state, church, social, birthday party, whatever.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on in, y'all. So what's the story on?
It's easy. That's the story. I use like a Bisquick kind of a
Mix,
deal
yeah.
that makes the crust. It's
Okay.
one crust. A lot of times there's those crust on the bottom and one on the top,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just so beautiful. This is not
That's
that.
too much. I can't be
Too much
doing
trouble.
that.
And beautiful is not part of this either.
No, because pretty food doesn't always taste good.
You are right.
So what is the first step for your
Pot
chip
pie?
pie?
Okay, so I get the we've got butter, and we're gonna put some onion in here, just kind of saute just a little bit.
All right.
And then after we get the onions, let's cook
That's
it.
fancy.
How about it? Just push button.
A digital stove.
This is about as high tech as I get.
Heck, that's awesome.
Yep. In the microwave, it works real good when we heat up our fast leftovers.
Well, first off, growing up in Texas, Carthage, Texas,
Yes,
the booming metropolis of Carthage. How big is it?
7,500. It's an awesome place to grow up.
Family of 3 kids.
I'm the baby.
And your mom has left this earth.
And my
right?
daddy's passed
And your
too.
dad's passed as well. But we were talking earlier about my mama was a working mama. She didn't have time to teach me how to cook. And your mama was always doing it, so you never really
Oh
learned.
gosh, no, I was in the way. I would slow her down, so it was just let me do it. And that same goes for making up my bed and folding the towels. And I got smart and let her do it all. So I moved to Nashville on my own as a 19-year-old, and I am just lost. And
As Moody's Goose.
Yes, but you kind of find your way eventually. And if you burn enough stuff, you'll figure it out, turn down the heat.
If you burn enough stuff, you'll figure to turn down the heat. Well, what was your mama's specialty?
She loved to fry deer meat.
Fried deer.
Our family were hunters, and she could make the best chicken fried deer
meat.
Yes. Hey, you know what we put next? Should I put it in there? Okay, so why don't you do the thyme and the pepper?
Okay, so you got a little
Yes.
black pepper.
Yes.
All right. I think that's like a half
Yeah.
teaspoon.
And
or
then
something.
an eighth of the thyme. Can you get that in there?
I love thyme. Okay, so we're gonna eyeball it.
Yeah, that's it.
Eighth of that. And what's next?
Well, the next thing we're gonna put the flour Bisquick stuff in there so that it makes like a little gravy.
So your favorite mama's dish was the deer?
Probably the fried deer meat, and I hadn't really thought about it in a long time because I don't get it anymore.
Yeah. Now, so what'd you do when you came to Nashville at the tender age of 19, did you say? Mm-hmm. Did you set out in your career to do what you wanted to do?
Yes, I knew from way early on. I knew what I wanted. The Grand Ole Opry was what I wanted to do. Wow. And I got to do it.
And how many times have you played that? Yeah.
So the dreams can come true, and then over and above that, and to think that in just a few weeks I'm gonna go and we're gonna watch Hillary be on the Grand Ole Opry again.
You've been mom to 2 beautiful girls, Miss Riley, and of course you mentioned Hillary, the mega group Lady Antebellum. What did they eat growing up? And so this is it.
This is what that they didn't get much deer meat, but they got. You're gonna put the.
Are we ready?
Broth in.
Yeah, go for it. So we got a little chicken broth going
And then
in.
that needs to kind of, it's kind of clumpy right now. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Kind of clumpy. Don't worry about that. That's how it looks.
It'll puff up.
It'll get thin, and it'll get smooth.
Got it. Mm-hmm. So the chicken broth goes in next.
Yep. And then the coronation milk, because that kind of gives it some thickening.
Okay, so a couple of cans of veg oil. We just strain them, right?
Yes.
This is a couple cups
This
of
is
chicken.
the real deal. And you can use a roasted chicken and cans of the broth instead of the real chicken broth from the chicken when you boil it. But that's kind of part of my deal.
Yeah. So you got the crust stuff all laid out here behind us?
It's simple.
This will be my first chicken pot pie dough.
It's easy. It won't hurt at all.
I'm scared.
I'll be with you.
Okay, so what do we do?
So here's your Bisquick, and this is our butter.
All right.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
Dump it in there.
Dumper. All right.
And start smushing it.
Smooshing it around. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about your career. I mentioned winning Grammy. You know, do you want to start there?
That's a nice place.
That's a darn fine place. Get to that stage in your career where the duet, you and Reba meet, the duet. Paint that picture.
The way it came about, I was working on the road with Reba, background singing, me and Lang. Narvel was managing my career, and I had a record deal and had some solo things going on, but nothing just really caught on quite yet. So she found that song, and then she had me come in and sing it with her. And as the story goes, I always thought, well, she'll take me off and put someone else on it that's got a big name, Winona or Trisha or somebody like that. That's looking good.
Am I looking
I'm gonna
good?
add a little bit more hot water, just so that it's crusty.
See, this is a great lesson to make a pie crust. Okay, sorry, keep going.
So we went in the studio, and it was magic. So then, a couple weeks later, I get this little meeting set up with Narvel and Reba, and it's like, well, you're going to be the singer on this. And I thought, okay, I know it already. Okay, that'd be good. And that's looking good.
Are we doing good?
Yes. Shall I get it over here?
Okay, you take it. Take it from here. I've done all I can do. I'm passing passing it over
perfect.
to you.
That's perfect. So the song just struck a chord with the fans. You know, it just had that cat fight kind of thing. Just wasn't sure what was going to happen that night, and of course the video shows that comes out of Reba. So they were just thinking, tonight's the night. I bought my ticket. Tonight's when they're going to go at it.
Well, then Reba's going to turn around and waylay Linda on the stage.
Send me flying. But we, never dreamed. You mentioned the Grammy when we didn't even go to the Grammys that year. That was the year that Winona and Clint Black sang their song that was up for one. And I just figured, well, they're going to win this.
So you weren't even there?
Sitting at the house watching it. And we were watching it when they called our name. I said, did you hear that? They called our name. So we were just couldn't believe it. So then the Grammy came in the box. See, we lived at our other house at the time and only used the back door. So I don't know how long it sat on the front door still. Eventually somebody said, you got a package? I think a neighbor called, you got a package on the front door. So we walked out and there's that little box and it had that's what it was. And then I set it in a prominent place in that house on our microwave. Oh, look at my little trick.
That's a great, so you measure how much you need?
Well, I just smush it out until it gets to fit the bowl I'm putting it in.
How are you looking?
I think it's perfect. All right, see, that's pretty good.
That's very good. Is this all we do?
Stuff in here.
So the Grammy changed your life?
It definitely, you have one of those on your resume and it just, it helps.
It doesn't hurt.
It helps. It sounds good when, I have to dust it like I do the rest of the stuff around here, and it cleans up pretty good. I'm gonna slap it on there.
Oh, are we ready?
Yeah.
See, I'm getting behind. Dang, I'm making a mess. Okay, slap it on there. I think this is how I do it.
That's all right. Now pat it down.
Pat it down.
And here's gonna cover that side that got.
Where did you learn to be such a great entertainer?
Well, I watched some really, really good ones in the wings, and Reba McEntire's one of them. And Kenny Rogers I've been so blessed to get to work with Kenny. And so working with folks like that, sure, I mean, if you can't pick up a few things,
then you're not paying attention.
That's right.
I want to talk about Stage Performance 101. You are giving your skill and your talents to young aspiring artists, helping them own the stage.
I have a lot of years that I've done it wrong and I've done it right, and I try my best to impart that in a language that they can understand, because that was me.
As a young girl.
Yes.
19.
Yes, and then plus, you know, I mean, it takes a while to just kind of find your legs, so to speak, on stage. Not that I came with a voice. A lot of my students come into my studio with a really good voice. That's not what we're working on. There's coaches for that. If they come to me, they usually are wanting some movement, help, the in-between song, what I call banter.
And that's where the entertainer comes in.
It is.
Because you pull the whole show together.
That's the idea. So we've got to just be willing to try something if it's out of the box. And we're going to have fun regardless.
Amen.
Right? What can it hurt?
And we're hungry.
Let's go put it in the oven.
Okay, you got it. Oh, Linda, that looks delicious. And I like it because it's like bubbling over the edge there.
It's brown. You know, sometimes I actually make up a little extra crust and use it as little biscuits in case somebody gets hoggish when they dip theirs. You know those people. They get extra crust, and knowing that they don't need to get extra crust because it doesn't leave enough.
Oh my gosh, you just said get hoggish with it. I love that. Oh, yes, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2.
Oh,
hang on.
look at that.
A little bit more. After talking about being hoggish, we're not going to be, okay?
Okay.
But if you were, you would dig over here.
That. Okay, look, dig over there. You're speaking my language, Linda Davis. Look at that, steaming hot. Now, as we're saying goodbye here, because Linda and I are fixing to dive into
Yeah,
this.
sorry about this. We've got to rush now.
We were talking about Stage Performance 101. If you're out there and you would like to pick the brain of this beautifully talented young lady, then go to her website. It's lindadavis.com. SP101 is a little nickname for it. And you are a delight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me into your house and teaching me how to cook chicken pot pie, Linda Davis style.
It is my pleasure, and you're welcome here anytime.
Careful what you put out.
Let's
All right,
taste it.
let's dive in.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. You're a sweetheart.
I love you.
Love you.